How's everybody doing? No, I did not take that NQ short. It's too early in the morning for me to do that. Not when the market's just opened. I mean, I know it looks great on paper, but I mean, shit. Let me ask you a question. If you were in this trade as the NQ, I guess you if you made that your target, you're fine, because who's going to take this big whiplash back? Holy cow. Can anybody hear me? I just need to check, see if everybody hears me, because I think I'm live. Okay, hey everybody. Well, man. I've been busy this morning. I literally just hung up the phone when I pushed the button on a little mini conference call with a lender of mine, trying to get some loans closed to build some houses. And I said to him, I said, man, I got to go. I just hung up. Man, I got to go. Ouch. A splinter in my hand. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I'm kind of looking at right now. Is I'm kind of looking at this gold here to see if we get a retest here, which was the break of this pivot, retest in this area, and then long back to the high. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now in gold. Because remember, gold's been open a little while. Boy, the YM had a nice inside candle on that down, and then whoop, kept right on running after it broke. Nice. Yep, happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Shoot, man. What do we got going on here? How much distance do we have up here? 68. 73, so about $500. Man, I'd like this candle right here to consolidate. Personally. I don't really expect it to, though. No. Damn it. It's going to run away on me. Yep. It's going to run away on me. Damn it. All right, hold on here. What are we doing? Man, I've got to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze here in a minute. Oh, man. No, you don't. No. ES, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. You do not take that ES short. Hell no. Absolutely hell no. Hell no. Really like this gold right here to consolidate right here. Really like this candle to consolidate. Damn it, I swear I'm going to sneeze, but it won't. Jesus. Oh, come on. Just consolidate right there, please. Consolidate. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. All right, we're in. I got a pretty good fill there. I'm going to run this right here. Come on. Go. Go, baby. Go. Go, 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 go. 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 All right, there we go. All right. What a start for the week. Come on. Come on. Run. Go, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. See, right here, we're right at that pivot for this target, man. I don't know. We could end up getting bumped there. So I'm gonna take this, hopefully, quick $400 here, hopefully. Come on. Come on. Come on, gold. Damn it. Don't rotate back without breaking the high. Jesus, don't rotate back without breaking the high. That will not be a good situation. When you got that run up, you got to break that pivot to your left before you pull back, because that's not a good sign if it does pull back without clipping the top. Come on. Come on, gold. Come on. You got it. There we go. All right. All right. Come on. Come on. Hit that pivot. God dang it. Damn thing is right at that pivot. It's right at that pivot. I told you guys to the left. Damn it. Damn it. Ah. Shit. I should have closed it out. It was right at that pivot. Damn it. I knew it. I knew it to the left. God damn it. I knew it. I called it. I said it right there. I said, it's right at that pivot. And that's exactly where it stopped. Damn it. Damn it. I knew it. Well, I mean, at least, again, it was a good trade. I made, $130, but Jesus, mother of God. That was just ridiculous. Right at the pivot, it stopped. That's where my target was. Right at that damn pivot. I knew that pivot was going to be a problem. It was a big pivot right here. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. See, that's why I tell people, honestly, I say this over and over and over again. A lot of times you can figure out the target that you really need by just looking to your left. If I had a front run like I should have grabbed my target and pulled it in a tick. If I had a front run that by a tick, I would have gotten filled. But I got freaking touched and rejected. Good job, Bruce. God dang it. Just dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. I knew it. It's just, I knew it. Now that it's retested the 9 EMA, it's now likely to rotate. But it's not a tradable event for me because we've been here and been here again. So I'm not gonna do that. Preferred situation, man, I'm telling you right there, would be this thing to go from here to here and then back. And then we can get some real money instead of this crapola I just dealt with right there. God dang it. Man, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Sorry, guys. Keep feeling like I'm going to sneeze. Damn. One tick. But hey, once again, guys, what was the most important thing? We saw the trade. We saw a valid trade, big green candle. We recognized it. We noticed that it had right here, a reset, crossover, Donchian Channel high, smooth pullback, and even better, a consolidation candle, and then wham. I mean, come on. That's you right. Just by the ability to see that I just talked about, you're already doing better than 80% of the people out there trying to make money trading in futures. Because they can't see shit. They're just guessing. They're just guessing. They're just like, oh, market feels like it's going long. I think I'll jump in. Or, oh, I think it's going short. Oh, I think I'll jump in. They don't know what they're doing. I even knew where the target was. I had the target to the tick. And I just, anyways, it's my own fault. That's my own fault. But I knew the target. And again, so how many people knew the entry that are sitting out here trying to trade futures, and how many people knew the exact target? I'm going to tell you right now, very few. Very, 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 very few. But I did a crappy job of making money at it, but I did. I knew both. I knew the entry and I knew the target. Shit. Whew. Man, what the hell's going on with the YM? I don't know, but it's just going down. Hopefully, we can find something to do with it down here. Does everybody see that? Hopefully, it continues to reach, and it gives us an opportunity at one of these two lines. That's my hope. And here's let me just emphasize why I'm really hoping it does this too. Okay? Because the ES is down. Yes, the NQ is down, and yes, the RTY are down. But none of them look like this. So this looks like market manipulation to find a rotation, because it's the extreme of the four markets I'm looking at. It just needs to rotate a little more. God dang it. Boy, that gold trade was beautiful. Beautiful. It just left me hanging. Come on, YM. Yeah, the RTY has a pretty, by the way, look at that. Right off the prior day high for the RTY, if anybody noticed. Right, prior day high, threw it, back down. I mean, Jesus. Talk about some viciousness. Look at that. Whew. But the YM is running. I mean, this, for those of you that aren't familiar with the YM, this is running in the YM. This is considered running. That is considered running in the YM. It's not like the NQ and the RTY. If it moves that much, it's running. It's running and running and running. Now, what I'm a little concerned about is that this line is close to this line. So the big question is, which one are they using as their rotation target? So I'm hoping it's the bottom one because I don't have any others below it. Do you see what I'm saying? If it's this one, I get a little nervous because are they going to roll it and then actually test that one and clean this zone out before they run up? That's where you get it gets a little dicey when there's two lines close to each other. I prefer that they just go straight down and hit the bottom one also, because I just feel like that's what they're going to do anyways. But damn it. Morning, George. Damn it. Are you going to run? Are you going to rotate on me here? Shit. Man. Come on. Yeah, go down. Go down. I hope you guys understand what I mean by if they clear out this zone too. Okay, that's good. They did clear out this zone. If they pivoted here and then up, the question is, were they really, is the bigger money really trying to clear out this zone, which is even the lower point? So you might get rolled and rolled. Does that make sense? That's all I'm saying. So we've now cleared out the low, the lowest. We cleared out the lower line of the two. So to me, that's good news. So now we just got to see if we can get a tradable event that gives us, of course, and just to confirm, by the way, what's going on right now is the ES is sitting on the overnight open. So from the top side, so we may get some support here to go long. Am I making sense? Because if they both start going long together, that would be great. So I'm gonna focus on this one right here, because I'd rather trade this one than the ES. But the ES is literally getting ready to do a long off the. Its pattern is not nearly as good as this one, though, to get to the overnight open. But hopefully the overnight open becomes support on the ES, which will help us in trying to get this YM to stop collapsing. All right, so we got 12 seconds left. I'm going to look for this candle right here to get broken to the long side. And hopefully we can get somewhere. Come on, go. Come on. ES is sitting there. What I would love it to do is go down below this candle, then roll up. That would be wondrous. That would be wondrous. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at gold, you dog. Gold had some big, ugly candle and then rotated up. All right, come on. What are we doing here? I am watching the ES at the same time. I'm trying to make sure that it stays north of the overnight open. All right. Now I really see how this went. This is an inside candle. We went down. I would like it to go up, and it doesn't look like it's going to. Shit. Nope. Damn. Well, shoot. I still got my order on because we had that smooth pullback. But pattern-wise, the ideal situation, we would have broke the bottom of this candle, then rolled through the top of it. Damn it. I'm looking at the ES. The ES is still showing signs of trying to go long. it just broke the inside candle to its left to the long side. So that's a good sign. That is a good sign. Man, this is looking pretty lame. This is looking pretty lame. I'm going to cancel this. Yep, canceling it. Cancel. I'm done. Nope. That candle closed below the prior day low. I'm done. Done. Richard, it's a script that a subscriber made that I downloaded and installed. So email me at to shit. Wow. Wow. Because I was focused on the RTY one. I mean, the YM one. Sorry, the YM ones. Sorry. I was focused on the YM one. I'm never going to, I shouldn't say never. I do not intend to take trades in two instruments at the same time. So I was focused on the YM one. Nah, I'm not taking that RTY short. It's not a recent crossover. You had multiple tests. You went down, created a Donchian Channel low, high, boom, bam. That's not a trade. That is not a trade. You've already minimum Donchian Channel pullback here. That's at least one time. This may have been a second. I wasn't looking at it live. And then down here, this would be second or third attempt. Yes. No. And let me explain that to you in a minute. The ES trade was not a valid trade to the long side. It was not a valid trade off the overnight opening. But what I was talking about with the ES was I was counting on the overnight open to be support in the ES to help support this valid trade setup that happened in the YM. The YM trade was valid setup. The ES was not valid. I mean, you could argue that it was, I'll explain it here in a minute. Let me keep looking for setups. And this RTY is not a setup. Jesus, what the hell? As of right now, man, we have got a damn. Time is it? 10 o'clock? Shit. I know, isn't that unbelievable, Jeffrey? I don't get me going, Jeffrey. Don't get me going. Don't get me going. Don't get me going. Yeah, it did, Bruce. Yeah, it did. It's just not consistent enough for me to take it. So I leave the line on there for me to, see it as a support / resistance on my chart, but I don't trade it. But yes, it did hold. It held very well. Yeah. I used to trade it, but I used to trade that line. Not often, because the hardest part about that line is really it being a valid setup. Now that actually was a valid setup, because those 1 minute candles smoothed right back to it, and then boom, off it went. But what I found is that the reward to the risk on that gold line rarely made it worth it, because you're always closer to the rotation points. So like from here to here versus from here to here. So I was like, okay, the trade may work, but it's not worth the risk. Look at the size of the entry candle. You know what I mean? So I just stopped trading it. And now I just leave it on my chart to kind of recognize, stuff. I think it was last week. It was last week. It was the YM. It was either the YM or the ES. I can't remember which one. Man, it was just banging on that 9 EMA off the 5 minute, just banging and then rolling up, and then banging and then rolling up. I mean, it was like a whole day of it. I was like, damn, that thing's working beautiful today. What is the ES doing? So Christine, just a second. In my opinion, the answer is no. So you might say, well, why is that? Well, because here. So we had a reset, Christine. See that? We had a reset, created a Donchian channel. If I was actually watching this, because I wanted it to roll back to here and then have me take a long, okay? Instead, we get this big, ugly candle that comes back through the gold line, then back up and then down, and then back up again. So we've rotated on top of this gold line 2 times already before we did it again. Especially this one right here. Excuse me. God dang it. Especially this one right here. This rotation right here, from here to here. What you want is you want this situation where you're on one side of the gold line. I understand this is way down here, but one side of the gold line, say here, and you have one rotation up, one rotation down, and then boom. That's what you want. You don't want it bouncing off the gold line once, twice, 3 times before this, because that means 1, 2, 3. First time works better than the second time. The second time works better than the third time. And when it's the third time, usually that's the kiss of death, which that turned out to be the third time in my book. Excuse me. So here we had a crossover, Donchian Channel high, rollover. This would be valid if we get a smooth pullback to that gold line. Excuse me. God dang it. Something's wrong with me today. Jesus. So let me look at this. Hold on. God dang it. I still haven't forgotten. Jesus, sorry. I still haven't forgotten your question on the ES. But I'm focused on the gold right now, so let me just get this kind of figured out. I would really like this to sit down through here and just sit there. I don't want it way up here because this, again, we went through the top by a tick, which is a good sign. It's a good sign that we're going to go long. Problem is, we went through here the same way and did not blow through it. So are we running into resistance? And so if this actually is resistance with gold, I want to be able to have an entry where I have room from the entry to that resistance. So like here is my entry here, 73.8, 74.8. I mean, I've only got 10 ticks to roam with. Damn it. Well, I'm going to have to, I'm already in, so I wasn't planning on it. I was trying to give an example, but I'm in. Damn it. Come on, gold. You should just take off here. Otherwise, we're going to get out. Come on, gold. Go. Go. Jesus. Sorry. Oh my God. Yeah, we're not doing well here. We are going to get in trouble. Yep. You can see when the candle's going up, it's getting hammered back down. That's not a good sign. I mean, it's getting hammered back down immediately. So I need to find a casual way out of this trade if we don't roll up here quick. Excuse me. Jesus. Yeah, this is not good. Come on, gold. Come on, gold. Wish I hadn't have done this. Really wish I hadn't have done this. Because we're too close to resistance for the entry. So we get no momentum to that resistance area. Yep. Wish I had never taken that trade. Yeah, exactly. Resistance. Sorry. Jesus. Man, I'm sorry. Yeah, way too much resistance right there. And it was showing because as it went up, it get hammered down. Went up, hammered down. And we went through by a little bit, came down, tested, went back up, went in by a little bit, down. I never should have taken that trade because I had no room for momentum back to there and then allow myself to put my stop in. Sorry. Man. Sorry. Jesus. What the hell is wrong with me? All right. I need to get over here and start looking at this. Here we go. YM crossover retest. Of course, we had a retest here to the short side. So that, we are in trouble either way. I'm in. PriorDay low. Let's go long. Come on. Come on. Let's go long. Let's go long. Why are we not going long? ES is going long. Why aren't we going long? Excuse me. Jesus. Oh my God. Come on. Come on. Yeah, same thing. Resistance. Same thing. Resistance. Yep. Same thing. Resistance. Yep. I got knocked out. Damn. Excuse me. Jesus. Yep. I got knocked out again. That's all right. I'll get it back. I'll get it back. I'll get it back. But I don't, my point on that gold thing was I don't like to take trades where my rotation is too close to the high, especially in this case, the daily high. Like, it's like, meaning the current day's high. It's not a good situation. You don't want to be doing that. Excuse me. Why is I'm telling you, I'm in again because the ES is going long. I am in again. The ES is going long. So we should be going long. Why are we not going long? We never did break this pivot right here. See that? On this down candle, we never broke the pivot. So I'm doing a re-entry back to the long side. What? Come on. There you go. What is the problem here? I might have to take the day off. Oh, yeah. I may have to take the day off here, folks, because I'm about ready to give up half my money from last week. Come on. Jesus. Come on. Nice hammer candle right here. Come on to the long side. Come on. Oh, my God. Still hasn't given up my pivot down here. But this is not looking good. Jesus, what is going on? Yep, I'm going to get knocked out. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell? How did I lose a contract? How did I lose a contract? That doesn't make any sense. I lost a contract. How did I lose a contract? Come on. Are we going to defend that pivot to my left? Doesn't look like it. I need that ES to start rolling up again. Jesus. All right, let's rotate up. Let me see. One. Oh, shit. All right, let's rotate up. Come on. Let's go. Let's rotate up. Let's rotate up. There we go. Don't do that. Let's just rotate. Come on. There we go. Jesus. Keep going. Break that pivot to the left. Break that pivot to the left. Excuse me. Break that pivot to the left, damn it. Break that pivot to the left, damn it. Go, go. Just go. Just go. There you go. All right, let's go. All right, there's one. I need to kill this one because it says 2 contracts. So I need to kill that and just close it out. See, it's something happened where it kept my contracts. I don't know if anybody noticed that. It kept my contracts at 2 on the top, even though it took one out at the bottom. So I had to close it out to avoid creating an I could, if I had time, I could have killed my ATM and then put one contract on there. Probably what I should have done. Anyways, it never, see, it did tick that bottom of that pivot. That's strange. I got, y'all sat here and saw it. It took me out with one contract. That is just strange. Took me out, not 2 contracts, only one. That is strange. And the only reason I kept looking at the long was because the ES was rolling long. Excuse me. Jesus. All right, let's find something real. Something real and tradable. Jesus. We could get a crossover retest of the prior day open to the long side on YM. That would be nice. Does everybody see that? It'd be this. Now the battle is over between this one and this line. This battle that happened right in here, I never should have gotten involved in the battle between these two lines. I never should have done that. But now that battle's over. So what we can hope for is this to roll down and sit on top of here and allow us to take a long back towards the red line or wherever we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully this is what we do. Hopefully it sets that pattern up right now. Jesus. That was terrible. That was terrible. By the way, while I'm sitting here, I wrote up on my board up here because I always seem to forget because I'm brain dead, you know. We've all talked about that. So I wrote up here my beginning balance of my account so that I can actually figure out what I total in the week. You remember my objective is $1,000. I'm currently down $100 after commissions, $60 actually in trades. But so I wrote the number down this time instead of trying to remember my profits by day. Because, you know, by the time I get to like Wednesday, I forgot what Monday was. Yeah. For all you younger people, just be happy you can remember stuff. because I can't remember anything anymore. It's like just brain dead. I mean, I literally don't remember things anymore. I used to think this was a polite way of dealing with it. I used to think it's because I was compartmentalizing important things from non-important things until I realized one day, I don't even remember important things anymore. So that whole facade lie no longer existed anymore for me. Excuse me. You talk about gold, red line, RTY. Yeah, the RTY. George. Yeah, exactly, Bruce. I swear to God, the thing is, Bruce, I know you guys don't know me, but there used to be a day and age. This is going to sound crazy what I'm about to tell you, but I would have 180, literally, that was my peak that I remember, 180 different construction projects going on that I was involved in. 180. And I could tell you the status of every one of these projects off the top of my head. I used to sit in meetings and people look at me like, how the hell did he do that? But today I can't even remember. I have to write my potential customers' names down on a board because I can't remember anything. I can't remember their names or anything. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're in a dead period here. So let me do that for you. The ES. Let me make sure. I really, yeah, I know 180, Bruce. Swear to God, 180. Now I lived, breathed, and died my job back then. So of course I had nothing else to distract me from remembering these things. I mean, that's, it was insane. But now I build 15 to 20 houses a year. This is now I build 15 to 20 houses a year, and I can't even remember the names of the customers I built their houses for at the beginning of the year. I can't even tell you. I can barely remember the names of the ones I've got in construction right now. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Bruce, is mortgage loans. I was juggling 180 mortgage loans, new construction. 180 mortgage loans. I was juggling them in my head, new construction. So I knew the status of every single one of them to when we were going to get the certificate of occupancy and the power so I can get the final inspection done and close it. I knew them all off the top of my head. All of them. So let's talk about the ES. Now, remember, we're talking about this after the fact, and obviously it did a nice W pattern, but it was, reverse of the way I like it. Good one, Bill. So here's the problem. Here's the difference between just kind of looking at gold here, because just in case it's going to set something up. I don't want to miss something because I need to get my $100 back. I'm down $100 right now. I don't mind if I end the day, at even. I just don't want to lose $100 if I don't have to. But anyway, so here's the ES. Let me blow it up because I got to do it this way. So you're supposed to have deliberate move down, but a deliberate move down is like this, where you just candle after candle after candle after candle. But we did candle after candle after candle after candle. And the ES is a little different beast. I get that, than like the RTY and the NQ. But then we had all this consolidation here, and then we went down. I don't like when we get close to the rotation point that we consolidate. Because then all of a sudden, if you'll notice, we had a pivot here, and then we created another pivot here, and we rotated down below. I mean, it's like, that's not what you want. You want your pivots to be way above. So you go back over here to the YM. See that? Even the lowest pivot possibly was like right here. Maybe this one ticked above this candle. But see how we went ding, 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 straight. I mean, that's straight line. Can't get any straighter than that. That's what you want. You don't want that consolidation before you get to the target zone, and then it goes to the target zone. Oh, crap. All right, I'm looking at gold. We might have a long setup here soon. ES is sitting at the 5-minute red line, which means there's going to be some resistance to the long side here in these equities for a while. It's my opinion, because it's gonna get into a battle here for a while. I don't see it as a trade because we are off the overnight open. But I wouldn't be surprised if the ES rolls down a little bit before it starts going long again. I'm focused on gold right now because I just think that's where our opportunity is. All right, come on, gold. Come on, gold. Let's see what's going on over here. Man. Come on, gold. Come on, gold. Here we go. This we might get something here. We might get something here. What I don't like is we're just trading. Jesus. There's just nothing up here. Every time that top goes, we're at a new all-time high. Every time that top blows. And we're getting pretty close to 4,000 right here. All right. Come on. Consolidate down here. Just consolidate. Just sit there and consolidate for me. At least we have a decent rotation from here to here. So I like that. As long as this candle stays down here. That's a good sign. The only thing that's a little negative is we're getting a little, it's getting a little long in the tooth for a 1-minute gold line trade. Getting a little long in the tooth. I would like it to come back and test this break line. That would be nice. See the break line? A lot of times they'll come back and test the break line right here. See that? We just need just a couple more ticks, please, maybe. Test where, where the price breaks, rolls over, retest, then goes, resistance becomes support, support becomes resistance, that whole premise. There we are. We just touched it. Okay, that's good. That's nice. It's nice to have that out of the way in case that's what they're going to do, is clear out the support resistance area. Support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support, blah, 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 I really like this. Oh, God, there it goes. Okay, well, we're off and running. We're off and running, folks. It's running a lot faster than I thought it would. Jesus. Okay. All right. Let's go. Well, let's go. Well, at least I've made money today. Now, or maybe I did. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Why are you? Just get me out. Just get me out. I don't like the way it ran so fast. I know that sounds chicken of me to say that, but it ran so fast. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I mean, Jesus. Well, and I was when it runs like that at this time of day, that's not good. It just cleaned out a bunch of stops. Now they're going to rest. It might sit on top of the 9 because now it might sit on top of the 9 and roll up. Anyways, I didn't like that. I did not like that. That's just me. It's a personality thing. I like it to walk its way up because then that means there's buyers moving it. It's not stop losses. Did you get a YM trade, Ryan? I'm sorry. I'm over here looking at this. Good job, man. Good job, Ryan. Holy shit. Somebody emailed me last week. I won't name his name. I don't know if he's in here. He can say if he's in here or not. But somebody emailed me last week and sent me a picture of his trade that he took that I called in the room. It was a W. Oh no, it was a W pattern in the. It was Friday in the. What instrument was this? That he took it in? Oh, he took it in the ES. Took it in the ES. Okay. So I guess he's, looking at the ES, the kind of way I talked about it. But he took a W pattern in the ES and he messaged me to say that that was his first eval he's ever passed. And it was all from taking that W pattern from the pivot that brought it down back to the pivot that drove the rotation that brought it back up. And he absolutely perfect trade. And he sent me a screenshot of it. And that trade got him to pass his first eval with Apex. That's great. ES is in a battle at the 5-minute red line. Kind of like I said it would, or I felt it would. The RTY actually has a long off the 1-minute gold line. I'm not very big fan of it, but there is a long right there that just set up. Jesus. Sorry, I am struggling with something in my throat today. Jesus. What the hell? Man, that gold's just still going. I hope somebody kept that longer than I did. You're here? Yeah, ES. All right, good job. Good job on that YM. Good job on that YM. Very good job. What happens to me, and I'm just going to kind of explain this to people. And this is a thing that I struggle with mentally. Okay. You ready? And again, I talk my journey also so that in case you recognize these things in yourself. What happens to me is if I start off the day in the negative, which is exactly what happened to me today, I have a tendency to try to seek getting my money back. And so I may miss the broader picture of the trade. And I get uncharacteristically short on my target. I look for, oh shit, I'm down $180. I need 20 ticks, like I do that, even though the pattern may be 40 ticks. It's a mental thing. I don't like to end the day negative. And so I fight it. I fight it. Yeah, it went off. Well, Thomas, it went off the prior day high earlier like a beast. Now it's kind of being very lackluster. What I would really like to see the RTY do at this point in time, if it's going to get my interest, is by the way, just to show you guys something, just to show you, rinse, wash, repeat. Okay, I'm going to get back to your thing, Thomas, here in a second. Donchian Channel high, back to the gold line, boom, up, and it went just through the pivot to the left. That's why I talk about you got to have room from here to here to manage a trade for what profits you need for the stop that you have. So when I was looking at this, I said the RTY is setting up for a 1 minute gold line, but I don't like it. And the reason I didn't like it was exactly that. From the entry to where we're going to run into resistance, most likely, it was not much room. And that's where, you need that bigger pullback for that bigger rotation to that target so that it can build up some momentum, hopefully, and then go through it. But you can at least have your stop, say, at break even, and you've got room for it to bounce around a little bit and then maybe go up further to your bigger target. There's no YM red line trade setting up because of this meandering that we had getting there. This kind of screwed the pooch. Now that red line's gonna fight it tooth and nail, no doubt about it. But rolled over, we sat on top of the prior day low. We're probably going all the way back to here. I mean, we're probably going all the way back up to here. I would like an RTY red line trade right here. There's the Donchian Channel high. Ram it right back here. Let's go. Ram it right back here. Let's go back to the prior day high. And see, the ES is in that same battle I talked about. So we came off the overnight open to here. So I expected a battle here. I talked about that, but I did not anticipate it to go to actually be a successful trade to the long side because of that rotation from here. If it was out in space, no man's land, then I would have been a lot more interested in potentially taking the red line. But it wasn't in space and no man's land. It was off the overnight open. God, look at that. Look at RTY. It's just going to continue to tick through the Donchian Channel and roll over and tick through the Donchian Channel. Is that what you're going to do over here? Is that what you're going to do? Jesus. Somebody needs to set up a red line trade for us, like that's valid. Like gold right now would be nice. A gold red line trade right now would be nice. This RTY red line trade right now would be nice. Hell, the MNQ might have a red line trade short here setting up. Jesus, let's take a glance at this for a second here. Let's look at the MNQ for a second. What the hell? So here's prior day open way down here. So we haven't even been there yet since way back at 5 in the morning. But we had a Donchian Channel low and we're going right back to here. So we could get a short there back to this area right here. And there goes the ES as predicted. Because it came off the overnight open, let's go back to that. Because it came off the overnight open back to here, remember, order of operations, this line is going to be more powerful than this line. Order of operations. So this line should be forcing price. We just broke the Donchian channel here that on this pivot. So it should be forcing price to the long side, which is kind of what it's doing. I mean, it's ugly, but there's no commitment to running it back down is the point. There's just no commitment because they went long off the overnight open from the current high. Current high, overnight open, back long. You know, swing traders are trying to take this from here to here. And for me to do it, I got to find a tradable event. Need to find a tradable event. Again, RTY would be my friend right now if it would rotate down, consolidate on that red line, and allow us to take it long back to the prior day high. That would be nice. That would be wondrous. That would be wondrous. Seriously, that would be wondrous. That'd be a highly profitable trade too. That'd be a highly profitable trade because it would be about 9 to 10 points. So 900 to $1,000. But it's going to have to start moving. It's going to have to start showing us that it's being manipulated. Right now, it's not showing us anything. I don't know how to answer that question. Does somebody know the answer to this question? If Matt was in here, he would know the answer to that question. Because it has to do with something to do with some settings that you have that make it off. I don't know what that means. I mean, mine is, I have my charts looking back 5 days. I mean, my charts load at 5 days. I don't know if that's your problem. I don't know. 3 to 5 days. Let me see here. $5 days. I have my chart set for 5 days. Every one of my charts is running on 5 days. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I don't know. Yeah, see, there's something like that. DV is correct. There's something like that I think is what causes some people to be off. But I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm seriously brain dead on that stuff. Oh yeah. Joe Clark is correct. I don't know how to fix that though, because we don't care about midnight. Nobody gives a rat's ass about midnight. This is a 23-hour market. Somebody start being deliberate. Somebody. Somebody start being deliberate, damn it. Because I'm currently, well, I made money today. $63. $63 right there. 63 bucks. $63 raises my account balance to what? 54.45. I wrote it up here. It's 53.83 was my start. Was my start balance. I mean, look. Wow, wouldn't that be nice? Jeffrey, wouldn't that be nice? I don't foresee that happening. I don't foresee that happening. But that would be nice. Oh, are you saying is this a W now? No, I don't look at it as a W. I mean, it acted as a W because once it broke this rotation here, it took off. I mean, it certainly acted as a W, but like, and so I mean, and in essence, it looks like a W, but you know, a W written by a very bad doctor. The W's that I like or that I focus on is, you know, you got your run. Where am I? Helps if I draw on the right line, draw on the right one. You have your run down through your, say your overnight open here. Okay. And then you have a rotation, a deliberate rotation, nice and firm rotation up. And then, and the hardest part of the W is recognizing that when they bring it back down for this part of the creation of the final leg, is that it's deliberate. It has to have candles that are in sequence without any tops being broken to your left. And then you have to see, and preferably back on top of your support / resistance line. So and then you have this one here. And then you have this one here that's higher or equal to this pivot from here to here's low. And then when the candle to your left, after you've come down and tested, I mean, the ideal one is it's got, you retested. When the candle to your left is broken from your retest, it's like wham, and it goes right back to that rotation. That's my preferred. So what I mean by that is on that pullback, I like it to retest my line that I'm using to trade in the first place. Doesn't have to, as long as it's deliberate, that you got a sequence of candles in a row that you can see it was deliberately pulled back. And then when you break the candle to your left, it just takes right off. And it's wonderful. It's a wonderful setup. It literally happens a couple times a week that you can literally see one of those happen. And when you catch one, It's beautiful because it just rotates. And then the key is, obviously, the key for that thing to really have leg is it's got to break that rotation there. So like when this one, even though it wasn't a W in my book, but it acted like a W. That's why when I was in this, I was letting it go, because once it broke that leg, it was creating that second leg, but it was breaking this pivot here and running. And that's what it did. But then I had my numbers on my orders upside down because I had one taken out, but my target had 2 still on it. So I just closed it out because I couldn't trade. I couldn't trade with my freaking, I couldn't trade with my chart anymore. I had to trade manually. Because that's a programmed target, meaning I can't go in it and change the number. Gold is looking like it might be setting up for a 5-minute red line right now, man. I am focused on it because this would be a good one. This would be a potential good one right here. Potential good one. Potential right here. So let's look at this. Hold on here. Blow this back up. See, we crossed over. We have not even been to that red line yet. The major pivot that I'm seeing probably to the long side is probably here. So we would like it to at least hold that in its rotation to here, and then boom, take that long if we can. From the red line, the YM from the red line. Oh, there's not enough movement there, man. I mean, there's not enough movement there. Not enough movement there. You got to have big legs. You got to have big rotations. In my opinion. And the other thing is too, there's no short trade in the YM. There's no short trade. Remember, order of operations. You got to remember that. There's no short trade to be taken because we are off of the prior day low. So the prior day low line is stronger than the 5-minute red line. So you got to look for, you got to remember your order of operations. I did a video on it just a couple days ago. It'll keep you out of trouble. If you can pay attention to your order of operations, which lines are more powerful than other lines, it'll keep you out of bad trades. Doesn't mean that the red line wasn't going to potentially, go, say, from here back down to here or something. But the intent of this trade is to go long. That's why they rolled it up inside the prior day low and went long with it. And the reality of it is, these lines, if you can, especially the crossover retests, like I'm hoping, RTY would do a crossover retest. The crossover retests, man, they've got, especially like this one in the YM, they show you here's where the entry is, here's where the target is. I mean, and that is a swing trade. And I can tell you right now, there's a lot of YM traders that are in this from here back to here. That's where they're going. And, long term, your boy right here, meaning me, that's the stuff I really want to start getting myself more comfortable with and taking, is those rotations when the lines are not far apart, not very far, but those rotations from here to here. Because that's where the money is. And stay out of the battles. but I got to get comfortable. You know, it's an evolutionary process for me. You know what I mean? I don't turn this channel on and tell everybody I'm Joe Blow expert and here's what you need to do. I just tell you how I do it, and then I'm very open. I talk about the things that I struggle with to this day and the things that I'm hoping to accomplish down the road. One of the things I'm hoping to accomplish down the road, and again, that's screen time and comfort, is recognizing that crossover rotation back to here and just taking it. And again, let's go back. And just like the ES, came off of the overnight open back to the red line. Well, there was a battle here and it pushed it. But I mean, the intent, because your order of operations is from here to here. Because of your order of operations, that's the intent. So you don't want to trade against intent. It's the little stupid stuff, man. It all comes over time. It really does. It's the little stupid stuff that'll help you. By the way, Christine, yeah, that ES, that's by the way, that's the kind of trade right there. That ES broke the pivots to the left, came back down, sat on the gold line, and then went long. Those are the kind of trades that I talked about multiple times in here. That is on that instrument. Those are the kind of trades I took to pass my first evaluation and get my first payout. That exact scenario. And the ES is pretty, it's pretty consistent on following that pattern. God dang. It's brutal. What's brutal is like things are melting in the directions that I thought they would. Like I thought the YM was going to go back to the overnight open. I thought the ES was going to go back to the high, and they're both doing it, but they're just doing it as if you're riding a camel through the Sahara Desert, nice and slow. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at that, Orville. I am looking at it. What I don't like is I don't like the slope of the red line. It's just too down for me. You're still holding the YM, Joey? You're still holding the YM? Oh man, you're my new hero, buddy. You are the man. The intent is to bring that back to the prior day close. That's the intent. That is the intent. I'd be following those pivots, the big pivots. Yeah, think of all the money I would have had on the YM trade if I had even taken it back to the red line. You know what I mean? Even if I'd have just taken the damn thing back to the red line, look at all the money I would have made today. Shit. Just, my problem was I dug myself a hole. And when I dig myself a hole, I go into a mental mode of, I got to get my money back. I got to get my money back. I mean, I just freaking hate losing money. Shit. If you're still in that YM trade, man, you're okay. Yeah. Good for you, man. Good for you. No, Christine, no, because we had just too much monkey business on the way there. This right here, creating new pivots. That doesn't mean that the red line's not going to give a battle here, but it's just not a battle I want to be in. What I would prefer to see at this point in time with the red line is I would prefer to see price go inside it, fight here, and then cross back over and sit on top of the red line and then go long. That's like it's just resetting itself. That's what I would prefer at this point. Because it's, yeah. Look at that ES. You dirty dog, man. Look at the YM's doing the same thing. Look at that. 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 That is a stupendous trade, Joey. No problem, Christine. No problem. Again, it's my opinion. If there's a consolidation candle on that red line when they finally get to it, there's going to be a battle there. But, we got a couple problems. I'm going to go back to another issue right now. We got a couple problems as it meanders its way to this red line. And I talk about this, if price continues, to do its thing of just kind of sitting in an area, remember the moving average is going to come to price. That's why it's because it's averaging the price for the last so many minutes. The moving average is going to come to price. When I look to take a trade, I'm looking for the price to go to the moving average, not the moving average to come to price. And so as this thing keeps meandering here, the moving average is for all intents and purposes, it's coming to price. Because every time this candle closes, it keeps running up to it, and we're not coming to it. When I was talking about, this being something, price was running, was this part here. So price was running to the moving average. And that makes it a lot more appealing and attractive. Because usually what happens when price runs to a moving average instead of a moving average going to price is that's where you get the oversold mentality. We're oversold. Woof, bam, time to buy into it. But if the moving average comes to price, there's no real opinion of being oversold or overbought. Does that make sense? That YM finally broke. this up some more so I can see better. Jesus, what a bunch of ugliness. So we had 1 run, 2 runs. Now we all know the premise, 1, 2, 3. So hopefully on this RTY, we bust through that high because we had 1, 2, now 3. Hopefully we bust through that high, create some space, come back and sit on top of that prior day high, and we can take a long. Yeah. You want price to run to the moving average. Moving averages ultimately come to price. And that's why, for example, Christine, that's why you don't need a volume indicator on your chart. Because I can tell you right now, if price goes to the moving average, volume is up. That's why you don't need a volume indicator. The only reason price went to that moving average is because volume started spiking. I don't need an indicator to tell me shit I already know. Jesus. Look at that 5-minute. Look at that 5-minute red line over here, or 5-minute gold line. Psh, Jesus. That's why I have this thing on the chart, so I can see it. I can see because I anticipated when this came down that this would start jumping in and helping. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Yes, Rick. I want to see it, especially the 1-minute gold line. I want to see it as it's happening. My focus right now is this RTY. That is definitely my focus right now. For a crossover retest. I really want it to run down. Come on. Now, as this day goes on, and you watch this ES price action and this YM price action, you may find that on a consolidating day. Remember, by the way, I think the statistic is 80% of the time the market is a consolidating day. So today is an example of a consolidating day. So you can ask yourself, based on looking like, say, at that ES and that YM, if the style of trading that I do, where I'm looking for entry in the big green candle or entry in the big red candle, if that's throwing you off, or you don't have necessarily the patience to sit on your hands and wait for something like that, keep in mind, you saw two examples of price rotating up and on to powerful lines that then they rotated, and they're literally doing it. They're going to rotate all the way back to the other end. And so many times you'll see on a consolidating day, you'll see price do that within 45 minutes, somewhere in that range, about 45 minutes, somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour since the market opened on a consolidating day. They just pick a point, which 9 times out of 10, it's going to be one of these lines, and then they're going to rotate from there back to the other side. And that's exactly what happened in the ES. It's exactly what happened in the YM. And they're just slowly melting their way the other way, because they have at this point in time, they have no desire to run it back down. So the only thing they're going to do is continue to melt it up. Not on the RTY, if you're asking me, Raymond. I mean, I'm not going to. I stopped trading gold line trades with my live money after you get past, like 10:30, 10:45. I don't look for 1 minute gold line trades anymore. But for those of you that are trying to, dick and dunk some money and maybe walk your way through an evaluation, it's not a bad way to do it. I just with real money, what I find is the rotations are not big enough. Gold, red line. Oh, no, absolutely not. No. Gold, absolutely not. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm dyslexic, Raymond, by the way. People that have been watching me a long time know that. And I literally looked up and didn't even see you saying red line. And I saw a gold line. That's all I saw. So I was thinking you were talking about the RTY. Because the RTY did have a gold line, quote unquote, set up per se. But I'm not taking the red line in gold because it meandered its ass here. So like I said, for gold, for me to take a gold trade off the red line now to the long side, I need to see it come down in here, reset, crossover, sit on top, and then go. Because this is not a good pattern. Plus, we ended up breaking this pivot on the way down too. I would not be surprised if this thing rotates down a little bit. Then it might get its bearings and then come back, but I'm not going to be involved in it. Even with this inside candle right here, none of it. Yeah, I saw gold and line. I mean, again, I'm even when I was in school, I wouldn't have even seen the word gold and line. So, I mean, it's improvement. Damn it, come on. I really want to see this RTY because it has not you got to remember, folks, there are things that the market likes to do. And when they do them, if they're doing it deliberately, it's your opportunity. So one of the things they like to do since they finally broke through, because remember, let's go back and look at this RTY right here. We got time. Remember this. Boom! They hammered it right here. Straight down. Okay? That was this morning, right out of the open. So then they came up here and hit it again, and then hit it again, and then finally broke it because, you know, you got your 1, 2, 3. We talk about that all the time. 1, 2, 3. Then after they do the third, what they should be doing if they're manipulating price the way we want them to is they should get everybody leaning long and then run it back down here to clean out some stops and then rotate it back through the high. Yeah, there's no trade in GC. No trade in GC. No trade in GC. I want to see GC. I want to see GC. Since the RTY is not going to cooperate with me right now, I want to see GC come down in here somewhere and consolidate and then run north of the red line, sit on top of it and go long. That's what I want to see. And you're going to say to me, well, why didn't you take the red line trade? Well, did you, the pattern, boom, 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 boom. That is not a relatively smooth pullback to the red line. That's a horrible pullback. And so this failing right now is not a surprise to me. Come on, RTY, please. Right here. Man, look at that. So frustrating. So frustrating. So frustrating. I mean, it is and it isn't. But that YM is doing is literally, I drew this line how long ago? That's where they're going. Right there. And I drew this line because I said, if this red line is going to work, it's going to work temporarily. The objective was to run it from here to here. Temporarily meaning it was going to go down and then stop. It was not going to, it could have come back, which would have been nice, and sat on top of the prior day open. That would have been really nice. And then along. Because, you know, see, we tested the top of this one. We never tested the top of this one. That would have been really nice. That would have been really nice. Would have given us a second chance at that trade to the long side. Come on, RTY. It's trying, guys. I'm telling you, it's trying. It's trying to make us money. I'm telling you, it is. She knows we cleared this area that we had a 1, 2, 3 battle on that Bob talks about all the time. 1, 2, 3. So we did this. So now we need to go back and test it to make Bob happy so he can take the trade to the long side. Shit, man, we got almost 100 people in here and we only got 19 likes. What the hell's that all about? You guys don't even like what I'm doing well enough? By the way, that is probably the first and only time I'll ever say that statement. Where's my likes? I never say that stuff. Okay, here comes RTY. Come on. Come on, RTY. Come on. Thanks, George. Good job, America Patriot. Good job. Good job, my friend. 48 ticks. So I'm assuming you bagged what? Did you get 400 of that? What the heck? RTY, what are you doing? Oh my God. Come on. Jesus, that was a big freaking reversal on that candle. All right, here we go. Come on, deliberate. Let's move. Let's move. So gold failed, which I'm not surprised by. 560, all right. That's great. That's awesome. That's because of the lag, Harold. I'm streaming through YouTube. So YouTube has a lag, in case I rip my shirt off and go topless. In case I turn this into an OnlyFans video or something. All right, look at that gold. Everybody looking at gold? Look at gold. Look at gold. We might be getting a crossover retest in gold on the red line. So it was a dirty little dog there too. Look at that. It actually broke the pivot on this candle to the downside and then rotated. Weird. Yeah, YouTube has a lag of whatever, I don't know, 15 seconds. That matter of fact, that lag is shorter than normal. I did some things to it to try to shorten it up. It used to be like 30 seconds or something at least. I say that tongue in cheek. I really don't know what the lag is in YouTube. I guess. I've had some people suggest some other things. But I mean, this technologically challenged guy right here will have to figure out how to do it. But I mean, hell, I tell you the things I'm looking at more than 20 seconds in advance anyways. I mean, like I'm man, that gold, are you going to take off already? Huh. Yeah, you just might. It sat on the gold line, on the red line by a tick on my chart. Now it's rolling up. Interesting. RTY is pissing me off over here. Seriously pissing me off. I mean, seriously pissing me off because it should have just run down there. I don't know what it was thinking. Yeah, Orville, that's correct. Okay, let's look at something here. I'm going to pull this over. Let's look at gold for a second, since the RTY is going to piss me off. Freaking RTY, I swear. I thought we had something there. It's not over with. It could still do it. But so, oh shit. I was getting ready to show you guys this. So see, we came over, broke this pivot here, sat on top of the red line, and boom, there's your long. And I was getting ready to show it to you, and it just did it. I was getting ready to actually push my buy button too. So, you're in the red line long, if you are in the red line. And Remember, it's a 5-minute trade, so you got to give it room. I would be protecting the bottom of this candle right here. In your rotation, probably maybe these pivots here, these 2 pivots here. I know the thought is that it's going to go back to the high, but I'd hate to get kicked in the teeth over a few ticks, because it definitely had some tough rotations right there. Oh, RTY, are you finally going to do what I asked you to do? There's some big long candles here in the RTY. This one here was a nice long candle. This one here is turned into a nice long candle. I mean, there's a battle going on. It does revert to normal once you catch up to the fastest speed it's going to give you. That's kind of the, that's kind of the pain in the ass part. And I'm going to tell you what, right here. Now, on this gold trade, you're going to want this 9 EMA to be your friend. So remember, this is a 5-minute red line trade, but the 9 EMA can become your friend, and so you want that 9 EMA to be your friend, which it did. It came down and touched it, and off it went. So that's what I wait for on those red line trades. The direction of the market is long. If you don't have a smooth pullback because you got this crazy crap, then you wait for it to go inside that candle, and then you wait for it to rotate over, breaking the pivots, and then it sits on top, and then it goes. I would have preferred it to be more deliberate and all that stuff. But anyways, and then there's your long. And your long should be at least back to some major resistance, which would be here. And if you don't have major resistance above you, because these being together, then it would be back to the high. God dang it. Come on, RTY. But it looks like gold's going to work. Right now, I'd be defending the bottom of this. So from here, I'd be defending the bottom of this candle right here. So I'd be right here with my stop. I'm just not going to chase it. I didn't get it off of here. So I'd be in at 76.2. My stop's at 75.3. Wow, 20 ticks. Well, it is a bigger trade. It is a bigger trade. Intended to be a bigger trade. I mean, 76 to 81. So it's a good $500 that trade should get you. Should get you a good $500. Come on, RTY. Come on. Man, we really need it to be deliberate at this point, the RTY. And I say that because we've been consolidating here. So what I want to see to stretch the boomerang, okay, where you pull back the cord for the launch, is I really want to see it go ding, 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 ding. I don't want it to meander there. I want it to start actually being deliberate. Is it going to do that? I don't know. Gold is still walking its way north. Jesus, look at it go. Holy shit. Yeah, that crossover reset on the red line is, again, the main thing is back in the direction of the market. You only do the crossover retest when it's back in the direction of the market, unless it's late in the afternoon. Then you can take the short. All right, Bruce. Look at gold. Look at that. Damn it. I was pulling the chart over. I didn't push the freaking buy button. I missed that trade like an idiot. Oh, man, that's a beautiful trade, man. That's a beautiful trade. And it kept you out of this noise right here. Kept you out of that battle because of the way it went from here to here. And hopefully this rotation goes back at least to here. Hopefully. All right, I'm looking at that RTY now. Woo-wee! Holy shit. It's getting some steam now. RTY is getting some steam. It's getting some steam. Getting some steam. Let me get this out of the way so I can see what's going on with the YM at the same time. The YM is coming back. And the ES is still just walking its way north. Yeah, the ES is still just walking its way north. Like a good little soldier. Like a good little soldier. Man, RTY, are you kidding me? Jesus, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. 51, 50. God damn, are you serious? It missed by a tick? Come on. By a tick. Yeah, it's meandering too much. That's why I wanted it to have a sequence, a nice sequence. And then give me a consolidation candle. I don't want to be stretching myself out. Damn it. So frustrating. Yeah, it's not going to do it. Gold is still on its way up. Yep. You got to be kidding. Oh no, gold is gone, my friend. Gold is doing exactly what I said right here. I mean, it's doing exactly it. Came in here, consolidated, rolled over, sat on top of the red line, and boom, it's going right back to here. I mean, I literally said that's what trade would be. As I was dragging this stupid thing over, I wasn't looking at the timer, and I didn't have my buy button pushed to enter. Damn it. That was, when we were way up in here coming down, I said to everybody, no. We want it to go inside the red line. And then what I want it to do is cross, break the pivots, cross, and sit on top of the red line and go long. I said that 40 minutes ago. And look at it. Look at it. Right to the target. Right to the target. Right there. Damn. Yep. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You know what's funny about gold is which is the same thing actually with the NQ too. It does the same thing. It'll piss and moan and fight and battle and do all that shit here. But when it gets to the last part, it just does it. Like, so here's your last part. Here's your last, it just does it. It just does it. It just does it. Gets it over with. All right, no more meandering. Boom, we're going. And then they rotated back from that target. Now, the question is, will it come back, sit here, and then rotate back through the high? It might. But the pivots were the targets. God dang it. My entry was right here. I mean, I was literally pulling this thing over. My entry was right here. This candle right here. The break of this candle right here. The one that we had crossed over, broke the pivots to the left, and it sat right on the red line. That's exactly what we want it to do. We want it to cross and then sit on the red line. And then the entry is the break of that candle. And then boom, there it goes. God dang it. And if you go back in this video, I discussed that situation and that pattern way back when this happened. Way back when this happened, right here. When this was going like this, and it just rotated up and did this big run up and then this big run down. I said, no. We're going to want it to do this. Then sit on top, then go. And then the targets would be the major resistance lines. These two right here. It's just that clear. Rinse, wash, repeat. I was dragging the chart. I didn't realize the candle to my left was closing so soon. I was dragging the chart over to show it because I didn't want to enter and then have it be off and running and then say, oh, by the way, guys, here's the trade I took. Because then I look like a dick, that I'm just entering trades off of screen and then pulling over the ones that are working. I don't want anybody to think I'm doing that. Damn it. So I missed it. I just completely missed it. Completely missed it when I called it. Let me look at the time here. I called it at least 20 minutes before it happened. At least 20 minutes before it happened. I said exactly the pattern we needed to happen in gold. At least 20 minutes before it happened. Jesus. Frustrating. Yeah, I see that. I see that, Thomas. I see that. Oh, crap. That just pisses me off. God damn it. That just pisses me off. That pattern was as clear as the nose on my face, man. That is an exact example of a red line that's been breached, crossed over, and retested in the direction of the market. And for that to work, for that to really work, the market has to have a direction. It can't be a meandering market. Well, okay, it can't be a meandering market. All right? So that's very key to understand that. It has to be a market that's moving. It can't be a meandering market. Well, are we long? And we hadn't even been there yet. I mean, all this was so perfect. God dang it. And it literally, by the way, I mean, there's where your targets were. Bank down. It's not going back to the high because it made some major pivots to the left, and that's where it seems to have resistance now, not the high. Fuck. See you, Mike. Anyways, crap. Well, we're getting too close to noon for me to worry about taking anything. It looks like gold. Gold was the leading candidate again, which I'm not shocked. Not shocked by that. That gold trade right there should have been, I think I figured it out. What, $500? Yeah, about $500. Should have been about $500. Jesus. Jesus, I swear to God. And look at that ES, man. It's going all the way back to the high. The ES is just going all the way back to the high. Unbelievable. Some good rotation today. I just didn't do a good job. I didn't trade well today. My big mistake is I got down first. I'm looking at that. Yeah, crossover retest in NQ just might be setting up for us here off the prior day high. I am looking at that, definitely. But I got into some good trades today. I should have made some big money, but I just took my money back that I lost. It's a mental thing. If I get down, I've said this before, if I get down, I find myself working my way out and just, and that's exactly what I did today. Because I was in that damn YM trade that beautifully ran all the way back to the red line, which, still rotating to the high or to the prior day, to the overnight open. But I took that freaking trade. I had that trade. I was in that trade. Beautiful setup. Anyways, God dang it. Good job. Good job. Getting that GC trade. Did you go right back to those pivots to the left? It's frustrating, man. I should have had that. I should have had that YM more than I did. Oh shit. See, so here's the RTY right now. All right. So what's the dilemma we have? The fact that we had a shitty time getting there. Perfect. Good job. See, you see the entry, you see the target, and that target ended up being valid. Now, price may rotate finally up and through that area, but because it's kind of looking like it might right now, but you just don't know. And it's not worth giving up the money, the difference between where those pivots were and the high. It's not worth losing that money. Good job, Christine. You got more than me. You got more than me, Christine. I only got $60, $65 or something like that. Yeah, don't give it back. Don't give it back. Don't give it back. Orville, you need to go away. You need to go away, Orville. God dang it. I was in a trade that would have made me that much money, Orville. I was in that damn YM trade. I was in the damn thing from the prior day low. Problem was I was $300 in the hole when I was in it. So I wanted my damn money back. Remember, guys, I can only lose my money once. So when I'm down, I want my money back. I can only afford to lose my money once. Can only afford to lose my money once. Look at gold, you dog. Shit, that thing's gonna go challenge 4,000 today, I bet. Jesus, that's just crazy. That's just insanity. No problem, Orville. No problem. I enjoy, trading with you guys, to be honest with you. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. What was your big trade today, Orville? What was your main trade? Mine should have been the YM. NQ? Oh, that's right. Yeah. You were talking about that. Yeah, I remember you talking about that. Makes it more fun, absolutely. Yeah, and the sadness. I had a little bit of sadness this morning. I had a little sadness this morning. I got punched in the face. A couple times. I had a little sadness this morning. But, somebody apologized to me because they distracted me, and that was, part of one of my losses. And I said, no big deal. I literally said, no big deal. I'll get it back. Just focus, hyper focus, and get it back. That's exactly what I did. Just focus and get it back. The problem was it put me in the hole, so that when I got it back, I didn't have the patience to let the trade do what the trade ultimately did, which Joey got all that money. Joey got that whole move on the YM, which was wonderful. But I wasn't able to do that because I was just like, just give me my money back. Just give me my money back. Anyways. All right, guys, I'm going to end the stream and call it a day. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, Orville. Absolutely, Orville. It's too late in the day for that, Rick, in my opinion. I don't like to trade the gold line after so much time, unless you're looking for some scalping style trades. There's just the follow through is not that big on the gold line later in the day. No problem, Cal. 2004. Yeah, live to trade another day. Absolutely. I just wanted my damn money back. I hate losing money. I just hate it. When it happens, I go into mental mode. It's like, wait a second, man. I'm down $300 here. $300. Anyways, everybody have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.